There, my mic is muted. I'm still setting up my cameras. Hey, Artie, how are you? I am just coming in now. I was getting my shit ready, and then I'm like, hey, wait a minute. Add that one. Hey. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while since I've done a video anyway. Where is it? What's going on here? That's not the one I want. That's the one I want. That's what I want. Hey, Jenny, how you doing? Oh, no, you weren't a bit early. I was actually a little bit late. I was a touch late. So, no, I just thought I'd come over here and do some sewing today because I haven't my temper tantrum. I'm still having my Canada Post temper tantrum, but that's okay. I'm just I'm eating cookies while I set up. I'm still setting up. Well, not setting up. Well, you got to set up before you can start doing any major sewing. So. So today I am. Hey Nat, how you doing? I am futzing. I'm going to use this guy as my. Okay. I'm going to use that guy as my FAFO piece. I'm FAFOing something. I'm FAFOing a thing. There is a method that I use called Quilt As You Go. I don't know if you guys can hear me. I'm spinning around. Oh my God, you're still at your mom's? Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, I can't say that's crazy. That's amazing that you've got the time to do it, and I hope you get some good progress. Now today is a sewing day, so an idea came up. I just got a little bit of ironing to do that I have to do right away. Well, I don't have to do it right away. Oh, that doesn't need to be ironed. That does. Okay, bear with you. I'll do the other one while I'm here. I just gotta iron my shit first. Oh, you know what? I don't want to use that one for this. Oh no, I can use that one. Okay. I'll turn that off. Get it out of my way. Don't mind me just putting the cords in the right spot. Wait, which order? I sent your order. The last order I got from you, I sent a very long time ago. You should have gotten it by now. Postal Service currently is no overtime, which basically giving themselves permission to only this is all the same size. Do I want it? Nope, I'm going to do that. Okay, so let me get the camera set up. let me get the camera set up. So what they're doing right now is no overtime. So what's happening for the moment is that they're just going slow. So there are entire sections of the Postal Service that don't work overtime. They can barely find 8 hours worth of work. So we don't know where they're talking about, but suddenly everything's super slow. My cloth and bag, I didn't check out my custom order before your shop. Oh, that's fine. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. I've still got everything there. The listing might expire in the meantime. It probably will expire. Once I'm ready to put the shop back up, I can just renew it. So it's no big deal. Okay, so what I'm doing here is usually what I do is I make this entire piece first, then I connect it all together. And there's quilt as you go methods where you do all your thing the way you want it, right? I guess I should measure it and make sure it's more or less even. It doesn't have to be perfect. 7. That's about right. I don't care if it's perfectly centered. I just don't want it so off center that when I'm done, I would like this to be center-ish. 7. So I got it good enough the first time. Good enough is good enough. Hey, Twisted Moon Witch. Oh, and Hershey's in too. Okay, so anyway. No, don't worry about that order. Like, listing expires after about 4 months, so it's probably expired by now, but it's no biggie. I can relist it anytime. I've still got it and I'm still hanging on to it. So no worries there. And I'll just relist it with a new link for you because the shop's on vacation mode, so you can't purchase it right now, even if you wanted to anyway. So what I'm doing, you got sew 2 pieces of fabric together, right? So you go sew. But this time what I'm doing is I'm sewing it right onto, this is going to be the camera that doesn't want to focus today. Come on. There we go. So this is going to be the back. This and all kinds of blues, and it's going to go blue, black until I get, and I'm just going to keep going until I get about 20 inches. It's going to be square when it's done. Hey Linda, how you doing? There's no such thing as being a flake, because honestly, like if I was in a situation where I relied on the income, I would have just reached out and said, hey, just checking in. I don't rely on the income. I really don't give a shit. So I'm good. Oh, don't do that. If you're going to take a piece of fabric and store it somewhere and just drape it, you're good to go. Just don't put anything on it that'll make a crease. Okay, that can go over there for now. So I'm not reinventing the wheel here. There's a quilt as you go method where people just make their stuff, put it all together, cut it, and then they just sew them all together. But I don't like that really thick, heavy stuff. Holy shit. No, that is not fun. Getting scammed yeah, that sucks. I'm sorry that you had to go through that. So I'm just gonna sew it on the same way you would just do it normal. Well, not the same way, but I'm not doing anything. I'm not reinventing the wheel here now. I do not want to use, I've got pink thread in here. You're not going to see the thread here because that's where the seams are going to be, but you will see it through the back. So I am just going to leave the pink thread that I've got on the machine. And I should probably clip some of this shit here. Now, you know what? I'm going to live dangerously. So that's going to go. Have we named? Oh, this crow does not have a name yet. If we want to name the crow, we can name the crow. Yeah, life will life. Honestly, I mean, I don't know that I would feel stupid about getting scammed. I'm the number of people who are always hovering around, trying to find ways. I want to clip this, but I don't want to stick myself with the pin, and I also want some cookie. Okay. Let's see. I have got so many. Look at this. Look at all the pins I've got. I've got these, right? And I've got all those. I bought extra. This is basically one of the cool things about sewing supplies. You buy them once and you get to keep them forever. But more cookie. Oh. Until I haven't gotten a lot of sewing done in a while. I don't know if you know this. I've been getting back into video gaming lately because it's fun. Yep, you know what? They're professionals. These people are professionals. They are professional scammers. It's what they do for a job. I'm not going to go crazy. I don't want to get poked. Yep. No, I've had not scammer, not these are I'm playing a lot of video games these days, so I went ahead and started a Twitch account so I tried I don't know if you guys noticed me streaming video games over here, but it's like, this is where I come to sew. It's a different setup. Twitch is designed for the higher load of video gaming, of live video streaming. Anyway, I've been streaming over on Twitch, and twice now I've had people, just yesterday, who's running your, blah, blah, blah. Oh, can I ask how old you are? And I don't give a shit. I'm like, I'm 60. It's like, all of a sudden it's like, anti this, anti that. It's a cultural thing. I'm assuming it's a cultural thing. Okay, so this sets aside for just a minute. We'll put it up there. We'll put it up there. I just need some strips of fabric. And they're like, and you can tell, I was playing fucking Dreamlight Valley. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen Disney's Dreamlight Valley. It's a game designed for little kids. You're playing that game so well. And I'm like, no, it's a fucking kid's game. I'm just derping around, right? Okay. I don't really care if I have perfect pieces here. I just want the first round. And I don't care if they're the same size either. I just want the first round to be a little smooth so that I'm following the lines. I don't know if I need 6 or not. 1 1/4 sounds good. I do not want them to be. You were on yesterday. This was yesterday. You saw the one, I think you were in when the one was talking about my logo. Remember that one? Oh, blah, 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 your logo. Like, I can make you a logo. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what's what yet over on Twitch. So I'm like, okay, I'll be nice, right? And this person was trying to, very nicely, of course, but explain to me how and why I need a logo for my channel. And that he'll do a really nice logo. I don't know if you remember that. Anyway, yesterday, somebody came in and they made a comment. Hi, how you doing? And then they asked me my age, it's actually, okay, it's a very common cultural thing, by the way. There's a lot of cultures. I live in a very multicultural area. Vancouver, if you look up Vancouver, Canada, it's very incredibly multicultural here. So there's a lot of cultures here. And it's not any one culture. It's relatively common where they would like to know your age, because depending on your age, they will refer to you a certain way. So if you are non-related but older, you're automatically an auntie. So that's why she asked me my age, right? So it's no big deal, but it was a dead giveaway. And then she comments on who's doing my social media. So basically, this is going to be really simple. I'm just going to sew it on, do that. Yeah. You remember that guy, right? And it's like, now he was being really polite about it, but he was being persistent. And I'm like, dude, if I want professional art, I'll tell you right now, do you know this? No, not this one. Or was it this one? No, this one. Okay, this one came straight from, okay, we know that this one came straight for the tarot deck that I paid for the art for. There was a couple of other things and so Lisa just said she gets a hold of Francesca. Oh, we're talking about getting me another tattoo. Get the stereotypical get a dragon. We're not sure when, but so basically I'm just gonna I have to leave the iron on. That's why I was bitching about this one. That's why I was bitching about this one. Okay, so I'm just gonna sew it on, fold it out. This is going to be a lot of back and forth, and it's not going to be very fast. So, and since I'm chatting, we all know that when I'm chatting and sewing, I'm even slower. So don't expect high-end miracles. But yeah, so this person, and you could tell this person was just it was actually near the end. It was near the end, it was like around 4. It was around 4 my time. So like, I mean, I'm into like my last half hour. And this person was like, I haven't got time for this. But, she was setting me up. Oh, you're so good at this game. Oh, how do you feel, blah, blah, blah. From your generation, learning technology must be hard. And I'm like, nope. All you got to do is buy a computer when you're poor. And then you learn all about computers or you don't have a computer. That's why I learned about computers. It's like, I have a computer, but I'm poor. So whenever something goes wrong, I have to figure this shit out. Software issue? Yeah, figure it out. You can't afford to pay anybody, right? Anyway. But no, they were asking me about they were trying to ask me about who was managing my Twitch account, handling my Twitch for growth and whatever. And it's like, dude, I am 60 years old. I have got no time for this shit. And I already have more than enough social media in my world. But of course, they don't believe you, right? Okay. Do I move this? Oh, how do I move this over? I forget how to move this over. I forget how to adjust this one. Do. Is that the one? No, that's not the one. Which one do I want? Okay, you know what? I don't really care if I lose, as long as you're consistent. But yeah, so I've had one person trying to sell me a logo, and I have got access to, my wife is a lovely human being. I've got access to like a whole screaming shit ton of very artistic people that would be happy to, it's not even read the room. They don't know me. I'm over on Twitch, right? I'm over on Twitch. I think I've got 14 whole subscribers over there. I just play video games. I just ask Jenny. I just stream the game. I flip on Twitch on the off chance that somebody wants to wander in and chat with me for a bit, right? Because I'm playing games because I'm bored, blah, blah, blah. So, but no, the art guy, I even said to the art guy, I'm like, okay, go. This is I held up the tarot deck. See that? That's me. I already own more than enough art. I do not need to commission art for a fucking Twitch channel. Still persistent. He didn't want to give up. And this is the thing. This is what these guys do. This is my point. I will get to the point in like 4 hours. You know this. Basically, the problem here, and I don't know what kind of a problem you want to categorize it as. A lot of these people are. This is the byproduct. Oh, that's not it. This is the byproduct of a society. How to say it not sound like a dick, but a dollar in my country can buy a whole lot of things in some other countries. So when you're in some of these countries with a much lower value to their dollar, scamming you for $10, scamming you for $100, all they've got to do is scam one person a month, and that pays their bills. That's what this guy was doing. Oh, you need a logo. You need this. You need that. And it's like, I don't need any of that shit, buddy. And I was worth the effort. Oh, just a second. Now I gotta blow my nose. Okay. I got up to go get, he went away, but it took a while. There we go. There's my scissors. And don't forget, here's the thing. I'm new on Twitch. And it's like, okay, you know what? I don't need to be, we all know what kind of a dick I can be, right? He was being super polite about it. So it's like, okay, you're being super polite. I don't need to be a dick. So let's just not play that game. At least not yet. Let me get the hang of Twitch first, right? Oh, if I get lucky, I do not want to have to, oh shit. You know what? I don't have to stop and sew. I mean, iron. Okay, basically what you end up doing is you end up ironing on every round to make sure everything's straight for the next round, but it's already sewn down. It only has to be straight enough for the next. I am going to fly without a, that's not long enough. I'm going to fly without a net here. So obviously if you're not sure, you just go, if you're not sure, then you need to pin it all down. Sometimes people like to trim it first and then sew it. I like to live. Here's the thing. This little piece here is going to get covered up. You're not going to see it. So unless you are really bothered by the idea of the possibility of a couple of thick spots, you're not really all that concerned. Let me just get that up there. Anyway, no, but I am worth the effort of trying to get me to buy whatever. And this is what he said. I'll do the art for you, and then you'll like it, and then we'll discuss the price. Because the way online art works is they would send you a low resolution copy, and then if you like it, they send you the high resolution copy. And he was willing to do all that just to get my 5 or 10 or however many Canadian dollars, because it's extremely likely that this person is from an area where my $5 or $10 could represent a full day's wages for him. And this is what we forget. So these people get a hold of you. They start talking to you. They sound so convincing and so sincere, because even though, and I get it. I know already, I am not minimizing how much you lost. I mean, that's got to suck, right? But even $400 or $500 can represent 1 or 2 months' wages, depending on where these people are contacting you from. And we do not give it enough. We do not take that seriously. It's like we don't take it. So we let our guard down. We let our guard down, and you go, well, it can't be a scam. It's only $500. I would not put myself at that. I would not risk I would not put time, energy, or anything into scamming somebody out of $400 or $500. It's not worth it. But if I were living in certain areas of the world and that was the only job I could find, like we don't know the mentality that drives people to get involved in this stuff, right? And we can make all sorts of assumptions there. Sometimes they're just assholes, and sometimes they're just really desperate people trying to feed their families. We don't know. And like I found out, I don't know if it's still true, but I found out that like over here in Canada, where I'm living right now, I've just got my high school diploma, right? I've got my high school, and I know the basics of a computer, and I've worked in 3 different call centers, right? If you want to get a job at a call center outside of an English speaking, because don't forget, most of the people that are calling into these places are from English speaking countries. If you are in India, Philippines, wherever, and you want to get a job at a call center, you need a university degree. You do. So there's a lot of people that have put a lot of time and energy just into programs that can help them learn English. I've got to keep this on the machine somehow. Okay, I'm pulling this all the way back over. And then I've got this particular type of batting. This particular type of bat. Yeah, I worked at the one call center, and while I was there, a couple of the managers, it was a very, very tiny place, right? They only had like maybe 10 people. A couple of the managers had been sent over to the Philippines to hire to create a call center over there, because they could get like this was like, it's got to be 15 years ago now. It's not been a long time. So this batting is not as smooth, and it catches on the machine. So I really can't be, I really have to be keeping it over here. I got to keep it over here so it stays on the machine. Because as soon as I get it over here, I'm repositioning it anyway. Anyway, that's my perspective based on my limited experience. But yeah, like they were going over to the Philippines, and okay, these were two Indian girls going over to the Philippines to hire for a call center. So they also, by nature of their own personal culture, were telling me about both. It's like, oh yeah, going into India, this is what you do. Going into the Philippines, this is what you do. But their boss had decided he wanted to a call center in the Philippines, so they went over there. Anyway, short story long. It's like, yeah, it's like, oh yeah, if you don't have a university, and if you don't have a university degree and speak, and they want the best possible English. So yeah, so these and this, in this case, they were hiring mostly girls, right? But just to get. And that's the scary part. A lot of these, and this is something else to keep in mind, a lot of these scammers that you're talking to, they have university degrees. They're very highly educated people. Just because of being from areas of the world where it's difficult and expensive. Well, okay, I can't say difficult and expensive. It's not such a big deal now. But it can be, depending on where you're from in the world, it can be very difficult and expensive to even find programs or whatever where you can learn English and earn Linglish. That's what I almost said. Anyway, enough of the babbling. I am just glad that you're okay. That's the part that matters. So it's not really obvious. It's not really obvious at the moment, but none of these are the same size. That's intentional because the next ones are going to get a little more. The next round. I'm debating on the next round just being very, particularly awful scam that's a problem where the scammers prey on people with lost pets. They pretend to find them, supposedly call them from a vet or shelter, take payment, and then, yep, oh yeah. There is a reason why I don't let, I will tell you right now, I don't know. Bruno is the one who's always jumping in front of the camera, but Shayla is this is not even me bragging about my pet. Shayla is one of the most, she's kind of showing her age now, but she is one of the most beautiful dogs, one of the most striking dogs that you're ever going to see. It's very difficult to get a good photo of her, but we would take the dogs for a walk, and there was this one spot really popular with tourists, because Vancouver is like a very tourists everywhere. We trip over them, right? And tourists would stop us to take pictures with her. So yeah, she's just a gorgeous, gorgeous dog. And there's a reason why we've never just tied her up outside. As a matter of fact, that's how we ended up with her, because I don't know her story, but we found her running down a highway when she was about 6 months old. So she got away from somebody. Then when we realized how emaciated she was, very, very clean. So clearly she was very, very clean. So obviously hadn't been on her own for more than maybe a day max, but she was emaciated. And the vet said, oh yeah, this is long-term underfeeding, bordering on starvation. It's like, okay, well, we're not going to try and find the owners then. Boom, we had a dog. But no, there's a lot of, people will do anything for a fucking buck. It's disgusting. But yeah, so I had one, you need a logo. It's like, this is my fuck around. This is my fuck around and find out channel. And if I decide I need a logo, I am going to have absolutely no problem whatsoever. Don't forget, if you're going to do this, you're going to open. It is really tempting to cut it and then open it, and then it will be facing, then it will be facing in the wrong direction and not be where you need it to be. Doesn't have to be perfect. And of course, you can always come back. You can always come through and measure this and cut them to the exact size. I'm just too lazy for that shit. And I'm only going over like an inch or so. I'm only going over a little tiny bit. So it's, if this was like 6 inches wide, I'd be doing it a little bit differently because it would be really, this is super easy to eyeball it. I make sure everything's lined up with that piece in the center. And then this and this, just eyeball it and you're good to go. But if I was working with bigger pieces or stuff that wasn't lined up as well, it'd be different. I'm not really concerned about how wide the seam is. I'm really not. And I'm just kind of eyeballing it here and make sure I go past that part. I don't have to cut off every little bit here, but I'm going to cut off the obvious, which isn't much. Now I'm ready for the next row. Okay. So anyway, that's my rant. But yeah, it's kind of weird. It's like I said, I got a bit of an education in this because I did work for a call center, and it's like, oh yeah, and they were, yeah. In Canada Post is on a strike action, so formally they're on strike. The mail is still moving. But what they're doing, I don't trust them. I do not trust them. So May 23rd, it's like, okay, here's our strike notice. So May 23rd rolls around. They're like, we're putting a ban on overtime. Nobody's going to work any more overtime until we have a new contract. It's like, okay. So that's what they're at right now. They've had an offer and a counter offer that they've said, no, we don't want this. So that they're already at we're not going to take any offers. But because they are formally under a strike action, they are formally on strike. Formally, it's considered being on strike. You know, I can do this one. It's going to be little spider webs all the way around. And I could just do any blue. There's that one. I can do any blue. I don't have to care. Anyway, so they are formally under a strike action. They're still working, but they're working to rule, right? Like everything is just surprise, super slow right now. So that's happening. Okay, what am I doing here? They're not that big. So it's quite that. I'm just being lazy, folding this down. I don't need to agonize because I'm not going to agonize. I'm going to make this one a little wider. Yeah, this one's going to be wider because why not? So anyway, so how this works now, because I have been spending way too much time looking this shit up. So how it's going to work right now. Oh, that's my iron turning itself off. We can ignore the iron because the iron, we don't care about the iron. So now right now I can like go at a bit of an angle and not care. I don't care if these match. I don't care if they're even. I just need to get to the edges. It's a race to the edge, right? And then once I start to close it on the edges, then everything will start automatically squaring off. Yeah, I am going to do that. I do want them to be a little bit wonky. I want them to be a little wonky because I think I haven't decided. Okay, I haven't decided yet because I don't care. But I need to make the block first. What I'm going to be doing is when I get to the edge, I'm going to square it all up, and then I'm going to add a strip from the back that can then fold around to the front. You'll see. So anyway, formally they're under a strike action. So what this means, as far as I've been doing, armchair research. I'm not any expert here. What I have been able to discover so far is that because they are under a formal strike action, that they can just go, okay, this isn't working, so we're just going to go on a full strike. And then boom, that's it. So we could wake up. So the union is like playing the game. They are playing chicken. They're like, well, we don't want, so they're still kicking stuff back. Like the union and the union and the post and the company, the union hates the company. It's really that simple. So they are, okay. So now that has to go like that. Basically the thing to watch for here is if you're just gonna go, then if you line this up the wrong way, then it's gonna open up and not fit. It doesn't matter. I better do it right. Here's my rotary cutter. I better do this right. There we go. So what happens is they can now escalate to any degree that they want. Yeah, I'm a professional. Yeah, that's exactly it, right? So basically, now that they're under a formal strike action, they can basically, as far as I'm aware, just simply go, this isn't working, so starting tomorrow, we're on a full strike. And that's what that's what the big concern is right now, that they're just not gonna hear what they want. So this one's gonna go to a slightly different angle. You have to commit to not caring. Well, come here. What's going on? Oh, I got it wrapped around the shit here. Don't wrap around the shit. You got to come over here. Basically, if you're going to do wonky angles, you have to commit to not caring whether or not you've got little bits of bulk hiding underneath. And this is super, super fluffy, so nobody's going to notice or care. Anyway. So yeah, so that's the big concern right now, is that because it's part of a formal strike action, that the union is just going to go, okay, well, we want this, we want that, we want this, we want that, and if we don't get it, we're just going to snap our fingers and go straight to a full-blown strike. And honestly, at this point in time, there are very few people left who trust the union. Just trust me on that. Very few people left who trust the union right now. So most people that I know are preparing, are expecting a strike. So what I've got right now is, you can see this where, I don't know how well you can see this. See how these are now angled, right? Of course, it's bad coloring and bad color matching. Yeah, see, now they're all angled, right? So now I can just do whatever I want, going the rest of the way around. I'll have to cut one more piece to get these. There's not enough to do all 6 sides. I want to bring this one in really tight or not. I'm going to go to here. I'm going to go to there. I want this one to look sloppy. That's another look that I'm trying. That's another look that I want to experiment with anyway. So I'm doing both at the same time. So this is just filling the top. So yeah, it's going to be a really nice effect. It's going to look intentional. It's going to be intentional. That way, and as I get further out and it gets really intentional, it's going to be a lot better of an effect, I hope. Well, I know it's going to be a better effect. Okay. And yeah, you just do this. It's okay. It does not have to be perfect because it's already sewn down. See, with this, doing it this way, I don't have to come back in, and I can come back in and fill this with little circles or lines or do whatever. But if I do this, I don't have to come back if I don't want to, which I'm not going to. One thing I've come to realize is that I love quilting. I love the quilting effect. I don't love the time that I put into it. Is this going to be a quilted cloth or part of your quilt project? This is part of my quilt project. This is going to be a single block going into my bigger project. So yeah, I'm just going to do this one milder. I haven't done as much sewing as I wanted to do. But yeah, this is going to be a bigger piece going into the bigger part of the project. But if I like the effect, I can do these as, if I like the effect, I can do these as proper cloths as well going forward, because I've got more of these. I've got more of these, so that's not going to be a problem. But the shop's on vacation mode right now anyway, so right now I'm just working for me. But it's going to have, that's going to be the back, and that's going to be the front. So now it's like, this is the big ass risk that I'm taking, is to make sure that they don't look crap. Well, they're not going to look crappy together, because if I'm doing this the way, if this works out, if it doesn't work out, I don't have to care. It's part of a FAFO project, and if it does work out, I can just claim that I'm a bloody expert and aren't I wonderful, and get on with it. I need one more of these. Come on. Oh, I only need one more. It's okay to fold your fabric before you cut it. You just got to be careful that you're, I'm just going to make this one a little smaller. No, not, yeah, I'm going to make them light, make them really, no, they're too, yeah, make them bigger. I never, if I'm committing to the FAFO, then what I do is I try really hard not to measure them. Yeah, this is going to be a win-win. This is going to be a win-win for me. I think I did one of these like this before and put it in the shop. That would have been a long, oh, let's get that a little higher up. Wait. I'm going to go that way. That would have been a long time ago. Come on. Anyway. So yeah, so the whole coastal stripe thing is, I'm already starting to slip. I've got brand new clean gloves. They're over there somewhere. There we go. So what am I doing? I don't really have to backstitch, but I might as well. Okay. The one thing you got to watch out for is that you don't shove your scissors all the way through the batting and start cutting it, or cut through the back. So that's something you got to watch out for. Okay. So this one here, ish. Is it the right size? Yes, it is. It will fit. I don't need a huge backstitch here, just a little bit. You do have to do a bit of backstitching because this is the only time you're going to stitch this. You're not going to come over with anything else. There's no stitch in the ditch or anything like that. Oh, have fun. Yeah, deliberate. I like, okay, if I'm FAFOing something, I like deliberately wonky. One thing I've discovered about myself, which I'm sure I'm not the only quilter in the world to discover, is that one of the things about quilting is like, oh, you relax, you take your time. It's like, no, I'm in a fucking hurry. I'm always in a hurry when I'm quilting. I want to go fast. I want to do whatever. So I'm just taking off a little. I don't care how much bulk I get off of this. I really don't. Okay, that one's done. Now, you guys might not be able to see this, but as you're doing this, the last piece, the first piece is tiny. The last piece is really long. The first piece is tiny. The last piece is really long. And so one thing that you can do to break that up a little bit is maybe flip it and start your short piece over here on one of your, start your short piece somewhere else on one of these rounds. So instead of starting my short piece here again, because that's my short piece, I'm going to start my short piece. I'm going to flip this. And then my short piece is going to go here this time. And then the long piece will go here. And it'll just help balance it out a little bit. If you're going to come through and stitch in the ditch, and put all this and hold all this stuff down later. I did do one of these. You know what? I did do one of these because what I did afterwards was I came by and I did stitch in the ditch. I did the top first and then I put it together, right? And what I did was I went all the way across all the way across, filled in all these lines. So no matter which way the line was shaped, was pointing, that's the way. And I went all the way across and got a really cool, everything but the center. And I got a really cool, like, effect. And it was really cool. It was like, cool. You spelled it was a C, C-O-O-L, cool. Anyway, yeah. So our postal strike, that's why I said that I wasn't going to come back. And I do mean it, unfortunately. I'm not coming back until they have a contract signed, because now that they're under an official strike action, that means that until they sign a new contract, they can literally snap their fingers and go on strike at any time. Okay, what do I want? I've got some black. I've got a giant pile of scrap. Giant pile. Ugh. Okay. Let's pick the next color. Ooh, wait. That one's not bad. It's like cloudy unicorn stuff, but I think it would look. Of course, I move over there, then I move over here. That would look good. What did I touch? I touched a thing. There we go. That would look good. That would probably look really good going around. Oh, yeah. Well, the thing is that 6 months ago, they were ordered back to work by the government. The government said, okay, we're going to send you guys back to work. I'm just going to stick my head way down there and then keep talking. It'll be awesome. They ordered them back to work. They said, okay, you guys have to go back to work. And now you have 6 months. Where am I stuck? Okay, I'm not stuck. I have got cords everywhere right now. Yeah. Well, they basically the union wants our post office is pretty much bankrupt, and the union doesn't believe them. It's like the company needed a bailout. So I'm trying to figure out what I want to put in here next. I don't think I want to do. I'm just going to leave this over here and reset the camera over here. I don't think I want anything super bright. Okay, this is what I do. I kind of roll it up to get a general idea of, because if you just put down a whole big giant piece of cloth, this is how you FAFO. So if I put this down, that might look really cool. But I think I want to stick with the darker. I think I want to stick with stuff that's got a lot of black and blue. This is a polka dot fabric. I'm going to save this for near the end because it's not going to be once I'm just filling in corners and don't need a lot. I have these two, but they glow in the dark. Actually, that one would be. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up. I have that one. That one would be gorgeous as well. And there's a tiny bit of purple in the wings. Maybe that's what I want to do. Maybe I want to go around once with something that's the only thing that glows on this smaller one is the moons. The moon's the only thing that glows here. So I think maybe I want to go around with that one. But it's going to glow. I don't care if it glows in the dark. I don't think I'm doing anything with it. Okay. Now this one, I've got more of this in the back. That's what this is going to look like if I go around. It's got some reds and greens, but it's also got the blue. It's got all the blues, and it's got a black background. You know what? Maybe I'll just try and make these three. This is that's that. Okay, I've got black. There's more than one color of black. There's like that, and then there's that. They're not showing. Yeah, see. So I can go around with. I've got plenty of that to use up. Oh, and I've got. This one here is the one that I've already got on there. Okay, I'll figure that out in a minute. And I do have more of this somewhere, I think it's too bright. I don't think it'll go. Okay. What else have I got? Ooh. Okay, I like this one, but I think I'd be forcing it to work with gold. Yeah. It's not going to look right. Okay. This is one thing I haven't learned very well yet. I can match Matching for quilting is a different process than matching for other types of sewing. Ooh, and no, I don't want that one. Now, see, this is that might make a good that might make okay. Basically, I'm going to take this when it's done, and I'm going to attach a piece to it for folding forward purposes. So it'll have a thin border on the back and then the thicker one on the front. And this one might work because whatever I attach, those two will go together. I'll save that. I will save that. Okay. I like that though. Nope, doesn't work. Doesn't work. What else do I have? Oh, I have a dark purple. Dark purple might look nice. Dark purple? Dark purple. Okay, dark purple will make that and that work. That will work here. This is unicorns. Yeah, so if I go, but no, if I'm going to switch to purple, I don't want to do just solids now. I want to get away from the solids. So if I'm going to like blend out the purples on the way through, then I'm not sure if this is a good one to use. I'm not sure if that works. That works with that. I'll save it. I'll do it. I'm going to do this one. I'm going to take this one and go all the way around, but I'm not going to do it that. I'm not going to. Okay, where's my dogs? There's my dogs. Okay, I'm saving that. I'm putting that back over there. I tell you right now, I've got to get in and clean up all my shit. I've got stuff everywhere. Yeah, no, that's exactly it. This one here has, it's a little fuzzy. They're starting to be less fuzzy. That one there's got purple in it. So I'm going to switch out to the purple. And I've got more of it over there. So I'm not wrecking my life if I, okay, you know what I'm going to do? I am going to take a chance and not iron the rest of this. This is already a 6-inch piece. Don't cut that. I think I can put in a wide piece. And it does not have to be perfect because that's what FAFOing is all about. There we go. I'm not trying to make it perfect, but I am trying to be a little careful so that if I do it right, that one has a nice smooth edge. This edge isn't as smooth. Oh, I can still go for, I can go 2.5 inches. There we go. One piece is 2.5, one piece is 3 inches. There we go. There we go. Okay. That's going to go over there. So I'm going to do this. Oh, that's fine, Jenny. Oh, what's going on? Oh, that's why I'm not seeing some of the comments. Unicorns work. That would be really monochromatic with just the black and blue. Yeah, the purple adds a dimension. Purple adds a dimension. Okay. So we are going to and like I said, I'm not agonizing about any of this bulk. I'm just, so if I start here, that's going to be the narrow piece. So I'm starting, actually, I'm going to go flip it by 2. There, I'll start over here at this piece. Because if you keep putting the very first piece is going to be the narrow one. And if you keep doing that all the way around, then you have one piece that just, it starts to look weird. Okay, it's just my imagination, but it starts to look weird after a while. This actually has an upside right and an upside down. So I am going to flip it. Honestly, it's such, you're never really gonna come on, get down here. You're not shining through. I've got way too much light in the background, so it's shining through. But there is an upside right and an upside down. So if I do it this way, let me make sure it's upside right. Yeah, if I do it this way, then we will have the upside right facing towards the center. Okay. And we're still gonna go for the angles. What's going on? Why are you doing that? There we go. I will say one nice thing about doing this is that nothing can get sucked into the center. There we go. So what's new with you guys? I mean, it's been like, what, a couple of weeks since I've been around? I missed all the good stuff. What am I doing? Trim that. And by the way, if you're like, every now and again, you're going to want to, you do not have to come by and trim everything, but sometimes it can be a little confusing where your lines actually are. It's hard to describe. But if that becomes something that's an annoyance for you, there's no reason why you can't just stop and redo it. I mean, stop, give everything a good trim, and start over. There we go. Take that, flatten it out. I just like to flatten it. I have had far too many times where I've taken and I've started, I can start it right here. And it's like, no, you can't. It's not lined up properly. There we go. We're going to go. Ooh, that one looks really angled. Okay. I think I'm going to take this one mostly straight. Unlike myself. Bad joke, really bad joke. Yeah, you can just see a bit of purple. Oh, I'm so itchy. So itchy. Bruno has decided that we bought a new set. We bought a set of stairs. We bought a ramp for Bruno because he's just every now and again he's been doing it more and more lately. But every now and again he just must be in bed with me, and I'm allergic to him. So Bruno's been sleeping in with me more than usual. Getting my face all stuck in those allergens. Lovely boy. Thank you, puppy. Don't have to make every one of them a totally twisted up nightmare. And by the way, when you're doing this, depending on how, if you're FAFOing it and not paying attention, it's like, I'm not even going to look at this. I'm just going to do it. It's going to do it. It's good. Eventually, okay, I started this in the center, right? But eventually one side is going to start looking way bigger than the other side or whatever. There we go. So if it's not working with what you want to do, then you may want to be very conscientious about, I'm going to angle this one up on this piece, then I'm going to angle it down, then I'm going to angle it up, then I'm going to angle it down. What the heck? There we go. That's the one I want. That's the one I want. So I'm going to do a nice sharp. Obviously this works for me because, I mean, I'm grabbing from my scrap pile. So if I end up wasting a bit of fabric that was already at risk of being wasted in the first place, it's not the end of my world. But there are tons of patterns and tutorials and stuff that explain very clearly how to cut your fabric with intention for this type of stuff. Yeah, furfetti. Yeah, Bruno has an undercoat. Bruno has an undercoat, which means that he is made of furfetti. So he is like, we just call him a shed monster because that's what he does. It's his calling. Don't worry, I'm not throwing it on the floor. I still have that garbage down there. Okay, well, I got most of the way around with just one piece, though. Yeah, see my... No, can't use that. That's not going to work. Oh, that'll work. If I can get my... Nope, we're going to use that one. That's a little smaller. The... Every now and again, you got to. Every now and again, with this is a high loft polyester, and every now and again, you just got to get in there and make sure that it's not bunching up and falling up and tearing itself apart in your foot. Oh yeah, go check on your mom. Send mom to come and hang out. Tell mom to come hang out while you do all the work. I'm helpful like that. I'm helpful with ideas. And this is just, oh, this has got, I'm doing fine here. And we're going to do that one. Yeah, that's going to go like that. That'll be fine. It better be fine. If it's not fine, I get to add a piece. There we go. Oh, what's your big news? I'm sorry, I must have missed it. Hospital? Well, shit, I hope you're okay. But congratulations on the adaptive home. That will make it much better. Yeah, it's great how they can like build an entire house now. I know that wheelchair friendly housing and stuff has always been around, but what was I doing? I was doing something, and it's probably some video I found, but somebody pointed me to a video about that sort of thing, and I was really impressed with just how sophisticated how sophisticated it is now, and how much independence that kind of the adaptive homes, how much independence you can get. Ooh, I put it in the right direction. So when's the big move? Yeah, that is going to be awesome. That's going to be really amazing. Okay, which way do I want that to go? I think I want that to go that way. I think I want it to go that way because it'll be more obvious. Get up there, get up there. Once I start hitting the edges, well, the next one's going to be that purple. Next one's going to be the solid purple. I just realized something I could do, and I haven't even been thinking about it. I think I know what my next block is going to be. No, I know what my next block is going to be. I have decided that what I'm doing, I made a final decision on some of this stuff. Basically, yeah, see, now this has already been sewn down to here, so I can't really do anything with it, right? No biggie. I'm going to take off the corner because we know that corner is not going to be visible. I'm going to throw that down there in the garbage. Just to make it, just to clean up my line of sight. Take up to a year or more. Wait. Yeah, that's the only downer. It can take up to a year or more, but Danny has done 2 readings regarding my move, and it looks like it's going to be quicker than expected. Nice. So you get your approvals, and then they set the house up for you. Is that what yeah, this is working out really well. I'm liking how this is going. If I get in too close, this camera just decides to, it's hard to describe. This is a lot more, this has got a lot more purple in it. Yeah. Let me see, get under there. These purples are, these are all the little purples, but there's a light purple, and then that one there. Can I even get close? Yeah, that one right there is a dark purple, and it's not, that's a dark purple, and it's kind of looking bluish. These are all purples. Oh, there's look at that. Computerception. Isn't that weird how it does that? Don't mind me. Ugh. Okay, get over here. Get over here closer. Yeah, we have shortages for here too. It's right now, right this minute, just to get into general seniors housing here is a 10-year wait. Lisa and I were talking about that just the other day. It's like, because I'm 60 now, right? If it's like, okay, so I'm 60 now. So if for any reason, where does it go? There it goes. If for any, it's like, and we had the conversation. It's like, I am 60 now. So that means you can qualify for seniors housing here as soon as the older person of a couple reaches age 65, right? And so this is what I pointed out at Lisa the other day. It's like, if we think that we're going to want to get into seniors housing at any point, we need to get on the waiting list now so that we can move in when I'm 70. And then have, then Lisa's already, then by the time Lisa turns 65, we're already there. I don't know that we're going to move into seniors housing, because right now, right this minute, that's not something either of us would want. But yeah, it's crazy the way it's because the boomers are aging. All of us boomers are aging all at once, which is crazy. But yeah, we don't have much in the way of housing for disabled here either. It's kind of crazy, considering the extreme need for it. Okay, this one's done. Take that off a little bit. I'm not going to try and pick all this stuff out, because that's just asking for trouble that I don't need for a section that's not going to get seen. Because don't forget, even if the backing was a lighter color, there's the batting and there's batting and fabric. So I don't have to worry about it the same way. Yeah, housing is just, housing seems to be like a universal problem right now. And it's funny because it's not funny. It's funny in the sarcastic, this really isn't funny kind of way. Because if you go to Japan, they have 9 million abandoned homes in Japan. 9 million homes that they are willing to basically just give away just to get them. And over here, it obviously has to do with where people want to live, where their best access for stuff is. But if we were a more global society, then we wouldn't have the issues that we have now. Well, then again, maybe we would, because part of the problem, like, I certainly don't want to go back and live in the boonies, because then if anything, I don't want to go live in an area where if anything happens to me, just basic care is going to take a couple hours to find me. Oh, hey, I'm having a heart attack. Get me an ambulance. Okay, it'll be here in 2 hours. What? So that becomes its own special problem. But 9 million empty homes, 9 million abandoned houses in Japan. Okay, so where am I at right now? So the next piece that I put on is probably going to go off the edge, which is fine. I'm going to do that dark. I'm going to do the purple. I'm going to do this purple. It's not going to be a very, well, I've got, oh, wait. Okay. Chat, feel free to chat. Yeah, the U.S. have tons of vacant houses and business buildings. We have the space to house those and need it. So literally we choose not to, which is infuriating. I think it depends. You know what? It's like, I have lots of opinions on that because we have areas in Canada that are, we have areas in Canada where, oh, I don't need to trim this. I got to go double check and make sure I've got more of this color in case this isn't enough. We have certain areas in Canada where they will basically give you a house. Problem is that due to various factors like lack of, like there's areas right now where they're running programs begging people come and move in, right? But the problem is that, yeah, oh, that's enough. Okay, I just need 6 pieces. I do have more of this one, so I'm going to go ahead and use this one. But the problem is that for various reasons, like I said, I would there's a town. I was just reading an article about some towns that are running programs. Like there's a place in northern Saskatchewan. It's unfortunate, but the majority of these types of places that are available are in areas where people can't get jobs, can't get services, where they just don't want to live or can't live. Like, I mean, if you're a family just starting out with 2 kids, then it's not in your best interest to move into a community that doesn't have enough jobs. That free house means nothing if you can't afford anything once you get there. And that's one of the problems that we're having. One of the problems that we're having in Canada is everybody's moving. No, everybody wants to live in the city. Nobody wants to live out in the sticks. And so nobody wants to live in the city. So there's no jobs out there. And it really sucks. I think what we need the kind of cultural shift. We need the kind of cultural shift. Like, everybody was really excited when they started doing a lot of work from home stuff. It's like, I would love to live in a small town, but I can't because I can't get a job in a small town. And everybody's going, oh, great, this is awesome. Everybody's working from home now. I can go live in a small town. And then they did. And then they said, you need to come back. What's going on? Oh, I need a new blade. I need to change my blade. So it's like, it's funny in the same way you meant, because being here in a small island, we're running out of room to build. Yeah, exactly. Like, well, we have that here too, right? Like Vancouver, like they talk about, Vancouver is one of the most expensive places to live in the world, but it's also completely surrounded on all sides by other communities. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more try, and if I can't get this one to cut without a, oh, that one cut probably 5, and then one more. I'll make this one kind of wide from there. Whoop, yep. I have got to change my rotary blade. Do. But yeah, I'm like, oh, like let's just talk about all this other shit. But no, it's super awesome that you're getting what you need. It really is, because we don't have enough of that for anybody. And the few areas, like I said, you can get a home, but what are you going to do if it's like, okay, I got a house, but now I don't have enough to eat because I got no job. Okay. One thing, okay, there are two really good uses for having a sewing glove. This is one of them. It's nice to another thing with this. So when you're ironing, you can touch your hot. Okay, you don't want to go. You can still burn your hand, but when you're ironing and that fabric is getting a little hot on your fingertips, one of these pair of gloves with the rubbery fingertips can give you a little bit of protection, so you can handle. You're still not going to like it, but you can handle a little more heat before you. Like if you accidentally touch your fingers with the iron, you got that split second, and you end up. It's like, oh shit, and you don't get burnt. Okay, that's the small one. Where's the small one? There it is right there. Let's start over. Nope, that's the small one there and there. So let's start it over here. It is not the end of the world if you have one piece that's definitively smaller than the other. But if you happen to have the time wherewithal, whatnot. Okay, I'm gonna go fairly straight around this, because if I'm gonna have glow in the dark, I want as much as possible. So let's just do that. They're not the same size. I did not cut these all the exact same size, but still. And I'm not pinning anything down. It's a special kind of lazy. Oh, absolutely. I don't know if for anybody who's watching already says, I'm an optimist and my default setting is positive, but honestly, my living situation is really difficult here. So it's nice to be able to say that and not be judged. So thank you guys. Oh my God, I have been poor folk. I have been po folk my whole life. So yeah, I am not, I grew up in low income housing. I am not going to judge anybody. I'm not going to judge anybody anywhere. I got to move this over here. I'm not going to judge anybody anywhere, anytime for their living situation. My dad's living. Okay, we grew up in low income housing. Like this is my perspective. This is okay. My perspective is blah blah blah. Everybody live and let live. Right? That's my perspective right now. But here's where part of that came from. I grew up in low income housing. My dad's blind. Like he was blind, right? So grew up in low income housing. Neither one of my parents working. The only income is a disability pension. And like, I'm pretty sure my sister had some issues with that. Now, short story long, my mother getting a job was not going to happen. Period. End stop. That's not on the agenda. We can judge my mother. My mother, I don't know how to describe this, because it's like, okay, you deal the hand you're given, right? But at the same time, my mother was a special kind of lazy. So let's just not look too deep into that. But anyway, so let's get back to my dad. My dad, low income housing, disability pension. He's not working because he's blind. He did work for a few years when he's younger, but I just did the thing. I just did the thing that I said don't do. I said, don't do the thing. Don't cut it first. Fold it up and then cut it, because if you don't cut it right, you're not going to get a good angle. And that's exactly, oh, I didn't. I got a good angle. I'm fine. Anyway, so we grew up on low income housing. We grew up on my dad's disability pension. He worked when I was younger, but I don't remember that. Like by the time I think I was 8 years old when he went on the pension, right? Thing is that for my dad, and he made this very fucking clear, to him, living like that was a step up, a major step up, because his father was also blind. at a time when you didn't get shit. Like I'm 60. If my dad were still alive, he'd be like 80, 86. And his dad, right? So he grew up in a lifestyle where hunting and fishing was how they supplemented the food budget, where they got a piglet every spring, spent the summer raising it, and you didn't buy feed for it. You went down to the I think kind of grew up he grew up in the sticks, right? So when you're out fishing, you go stop in the nearest those little, you're walking in the woods and there's those little swampy areas and whatever with all the long grasses growing. You collect that shit and you bring it home. So between that and any leftovers that there might be, corn husks or whatever, that's what the pig eats all summer. So you grow, and this was his lifestyle. This is how he grew up, right? So of all the things that I can judge my parents for, the one thing that I'm kind of grateful for was this idea that not having money, not having resources, not having whatever is not some fault within you. It's being poor just means you don't have any money. It doesn't mean anything else. But no, like they grew up poor with a capital P, poor. Like not enough food sometimes, poor. That no electricity, because don't forget, he would have been like 86 or whatever the fuck. And he was the youngest. He was the third youngest of 11 kids. So by the time he come around, the older kids have moved out and things are better. So yeah. So it's like when you compare to that and you go, I was raised by a man who thought of I was raised by a man whose idea of a good life was 3 meals a day. And I don't know. Well, he very rarely talked. And there was other stuff. There was other stuff in my dad's world too, because his father was very abusive. So there's that. But yeah, it's like, but this kind of puts it in perspective. Like he went to jail. My dad went to jail because he was an idiot. Like I said, my parents there was other things going on. I don't know how to describe it, but like I was never beaten, but definitely like never really, it's kind of like one of those things. It's like it was a benign neglect, right? Which was actually fair. There was a certain common denominator to that sort of stuff back in those days anyway. So it's like, I don't want to judge that too much, but anyway, but yeah, so this guy, so there's this man who grew up Easter, the big Easter tradition. Everybody could have as many eggs as they wanted all day long. You didn't decorate the eggs because you don't decorate the eggs. That's wasteful. You eat them. That was Easter. That was the big Easter thing. You could have as many eggs as you wanted. And that was something for which everybody was like really grateful. So then you're like sitting there. So then you're sitting there looking around. You're sitting there in your low income housing, which where we grew up wasn't actually that bad. I don't know how to describe it, but anyway, so you're sitting there and you're looking around. And you're going, my dad's family had to rely on hunting and fishing to have enough to have enough to eat, to do other things, right? So it's like it really puts it in perspective. It really puts everything in perspective when you go, oh, wait a second. There are so many ways in which, and I know I've never been homeless, but I've lived in some pretty shitty homing situations. I lived in a boarding house with 10 other people. And at that point in life, I was young and dumb, and we were all welfare bums. So it was like, yeah, been there, done that. But no, it puts everything into perspective. Like, I mean, growing up, we grew up in low income housing, and this again became a perspective thing for me. Growing up in low income housing, we're going, housing kind of shitty, kind of sucks, kind of shitty, kind of sucks. Then I get a little older, go to high school. Here's an interesting story. My high school history teacher was a expert. They stuck me in a class. They stuck me in a history class because they said, oh, there's not enough seats available in this other class, so you got to go in this class. Stuck me in a class, right? Top of the vice principal who had written a book on local history. Turns out the low income shithole that I grew up in was wartime housing. During World War II, the housing that I grew up in, had been wartime housing because there was was it RAF? There was an Air Force training base in our town. I didn't know this till I got to high school. There was an Air Force training base in our town because that's where they put them. They put them because, the enemy can't really get far past the coast. So we were an our town RAF, I think it was RAF training base. And that was where all the housing, so the low income housing that I grew up in was soldiers' housing, like family housing during the war. I don't think it was officers' housing, but any serviceman that was married for them and their kids. It's like, oh, wait a second, changes your perspective, doesn't it? It's like, oh, so this was considered. So basically, I grew up in what was considered state of the art. Military housing, not state of the art. The idea of it was state of the art, of making sure that there was proper housing available, blah, 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 blah. That's where I grew up. It's like, wait a second. This is coming together nicely. Now, what's going to happen now? Let me just get this extra off. Like I said, it does not matter if you get all of it off. Just make sure you're not cutting it in such a way that you're going to be cutting off these corners and fucking yourself up. So now what's happening here? Let me get this up a little bit. So what's happening now is I'm coming onto the edges. Now this is not an edge and that's not an edge. This one here, the point goes to here and the edge of the fabric is right here. So I'm only going to get one more piece. Only going to get one more piece here and then maybe here. And then all of this is going to be, it'll be easy and it'll be fine. And because let me just pick where my next starting point is going to be. Because, oh shit. Okay. Don't worry. There's no oh shit happening. This is pretty wrinkled. It's more wrinkled than what I thought it was when I put it on. So I'm going to babble. You go there. So I'm going to take a minute and I'm just going to give it a quick little, because it'll be fine and it'll lay down if I want it to, but I just also don't want to fight with it because I'm coming to these edges. And like, once I get this piece on, it's still going to go and it's still going to be just fine. This blue, I don't know if I can get the lighting just right. This blue is not nearly as bright. Yeah, this blue, see the color that my hand is shading? That's about what the color of the blue is. But I was thinking of this one. I was thinking of this one next. It's got a little bit of, okay, the crow's got a little bit of everything in him. This is, you know what? This is bright by contrast. But I was thinking about this one. Whoop, there we go. I was thinking about that one. And then this one, and then back to blue, and then back to black. But this has also got purple. It's got purples and pinks. Anyway, but yeah, so it's like it's basically my perspective on life is it's all relative, and nobody should be shamed for the situation that they came from. Nobody. Like, cause from my dad's perspective, he led a very good life. He did. Because where he came from was so much worse off that he's like, why would I be, why would I be miserable about that? He goes, yeah, well, I've got the black here, but that ends up looking like a border. So I've got plain, pattern, and I thought that this might be a good one. But I am being lazy. Oh, no, I don't know if I have any more of this. Oh, let me get the camera down there better. I don't know. The purple is almost the exact match for this purple. Wait. If I go purple, where's the blue? Do I still have any of it left? Is this the same one? Yeah. So I can go purple, then I can go back to blue again. If I have more of this purple, that would look good. That would look good right there. I'm going to go see if I'm going to take a minute and see if I have more of this purple. Because I know I don't have, well, I can't say I know, but I don't think I have any over here that I can see. And I'm too lazy to get up and look properly. Okay. I shall return. Let's see if I got more of this. Oh, it might be in the closet. Oh, found it right here. Okay. There. I found it. Got a bunch of that. So if we go that one, then that one, we've got the camera is not picking it up, but this blue is a little, this blue, and these two blues are the same. And that's the one I put under the shadow to get you a closer look. This blue and this has got like a variegated blue in here, and it goes as dark as this and then transitions into the purple. I'm going to put that one on. This will have to be someplace else. Okay. That goes in that one. I'm just going to stuff things into corners here. So this one here is going to have to be for another day with the unicorn. Oh, I'm glad you're relaxing, Artie. You need to relax. Okay, now I have got to turn my back for a minute. Okay, I've got plenty of that, so we're good there. Ow. Okay, I just scraped my knee. Don't tell Lisa. She'll get mad at me for being careless. I have to just give this a quick little zap to get those deeper creases out. Yeah, that's better. Might as well do that right quick. Okay. That stays there for a minute. This one here. Yeah, I miss doing these lives, but honestly, okay, it's been really good. It's been really good for me to take a bigger break. Okay, this is from a wide back. This is like 50 or 60 long, 50 or 60 inches. Oh, have a great night, Nat. Have a great night. Oh, you got to get going too, Artie? Yeah, I forget. I always forget how late it is where you are. Okay, so I might have to get out a heavier. I don't think my little one is going to be enough. This is like, this is a really, no, I want that. Okay, that'll be good enough. A little over 3. Go over here. Ideally, cross your fingers. I'm gonna go about 2 3/4. I'm gonna go a little wide on this because I want to. There's a bunch of different ways you could do this kind of round the world type stuff. So this is. Oh shit! That is not straight. Just to here. It's fine. That's got to come off. But this is still a super long piece of fabric. This should be enough to go all the way around, and I'm gonna iron it. I am gonna iron it. Now that I'm getting up to the edges, now that I'm getting closer to the edges, it starts getting really fiddly. This piece here is already off the edge, so there's that. See, that's why I decided to keep it on, is because those little things just keep grabbing it. Oh yeah, timing. Oh, timing is always. But I've been streaming on Twitch lately. I think we chatted. I don't know if you were there for that one when we were chatting about that. Okay, you go over there. Ugh. This is one of the reasons why I get a little bit. I lean into lazy quilting in the summertime because it can get so hot. But yeah, so Twitch is a platform that makes it really easy to stream video games. And so I have been doing the video gaming over on Twitch. This is going to be a pain in the ass. There we go. I've been doing the video gaming over on Twitch because that's what it's set up for. And video gaming is a little bit different because video gaming, you kind of stay distracted. So it's a much lower, I don't know. Well, I still engage, obviously, or I wouldn't be turning on the camera. But yeah, I've been binging on video games for my own amusement. It's like it's one of those things. It's like I can't sew. Oh yeah. Let me see if I can get it. Let me just do it. Let me do it the right way. Let me look for it. Let me do it correctly. Can I do it correctly? No. I'm going to go to my channel. There we go. Right now, I don't know. You're going to hear an echo just because I'm not doing this correctly. There we go. That's my Twitch channel. So I'm just streaming over there. I will say I'm streaming more over there because I'm already sitting at the computer. So I just click a couple of buttons and I'm online. But yeah, I was streaming. I was binging on Diablo. Oh, this is so long. I was binging on Diablo, so I just started streaming with that. Right now, I'm just doing Dreamlight Valley. I'm blaming Jenny for that because I can, mostly. It's not like she did anything, but I'm blaming her. You guys know somebody has to be blamed. Someone must be blamed for my poor choices in life. So yeah, I'm streaming over there. I'm streaming over there not whenever, but if I'm playing video games during the day, I've been streaming over there just because I can, and it's been a lot of fun. So there's that. Okay, what am I going to do here? This is going to require a bit more carefulness. So I'm going to have to start pinning because I'm getting to the edges now, and the last thing you want is for edges to be all messed up. So Shayla's over there snoring. I can hear her. So this is actually almost done. I don't know why I did that, but that's okay. I'm probably going to have to get one more of these, though. Just fine. Where'd I put it all? There it is. Just make sure it's there where I can get at it. Oh, you know what I need to do? I need to get this out near the edge, right there. Because that's... I want this to be about 20 inches when it's done. Just going to go right along that edge. Okay, here we go. Just got to get this. I just got to make sure that this isn't moving around too much because okay, it doesn't really matter because all the pressure is going to push everything outward. As long as that continues to be the case, puppies are doing really good. They're doing really good. They sleep a lot. They're starting to show their age, but they're fine. We had a house moving adventure. We didn't move. The neighbors moved and took their house with them. We had a house going down the street. So Bruno had a not so happy Bruno time because the power went out around 5 a.m. Okay, that's going to go to there, and that's already at the edge. See, this piece here is already at the edge. Just a second. Maybe I can get this. Do you know what? Do you know where my Facebook page is? That's the best place to go. We haven't uploaded anything, so come on. Just go hop over onto my Facebook right quick. It should be public. Let me just double check, make sure it is. Yeah, it's public. It's a public post. This is they were doing a house moving, a literal house moving. They moved the house. And this is Lisa and I are out here watching it. Let's see if I can. Oh, just a second then. Share screen. Oh, wait, let's do this. Okay, no. Is that it? Is that gonna do it? You're fine.
Sorry, babe.
What's going on? I suspect that your photo, I suspect that your video is going to be 10 times better than mine. This is just for backup purposes. So this is just playing straight to my Facebook.
My goodness.
Look at that. So basically, a house that was about a box away from us, they sold their house. We bumped into the owner while this was happening. And they was house to the developer and that house. So when the developer said they were just going to tear down the house, they decided to go ahead and engage a construction company to move the house for them to their new location about half a mile away. So yeah, this took them about an hour. Like this is about how fast they were moving, and this was them going really fast. They were, yeah, it was crazy, and we were out there filming it. We've got other videos. We were out there for about an hour filming it, and in that time they made it about 2 blocks. And the giant noise that you're hearing is they are coming along in front of this thing, taking down anything that's going to be in the way. So like at about 5 o'clock in the morning, well, no, about 3 o'clock in the morning, we lost power for an hour or so, which we were warned. They notified us. Yeah. So what they did was they come in and they go to the they go into the foundation and they just cut everything that connects the house to the foundation. They just cut it all, take down all the wires and you know, electrical and all that stuff. They get all that stuff taken care of. And then from there they load it up on a big giant ass truck and they start driving it down the street. It was the craziest shit I've seen. I knew that this was something that they did because I've seen like YouTube videos or whatever talking about when they do this on historical buildings and stuff. Like when they move a historical building, that's how it's done, right? But I never thought I would see. But yeah, so the developer, there's been a lot of development going on around here. They sold their house to a developer, and the developer said they were just going to tear the house down. So they said, "Okay, we'll take it with us," and they did. He said it took them a year to get the house ready. And yeah, the craziest shit. But yeah, then so basically they come along. We went to the when we went up to the one corner to look. The hydro line, the electric line, or we have overhead hydro. I don't know what's common where you are. So they had taken all the hydro lines and dropped them down to the ground. Oh, absolutely. Go ahead and send me the request. There's not much to see on there that I don't already have. So there's that, but go for it. Why am I in this one? I clicked the, oh, no, I did not. I clicked the wrong link. Oh, that's weird. Okay. Yeah, I'm on, cool. You're in Lisa's supportive tarot group, right? Plenty of people in there. Go get active, make some friends. Anyway, so yeah, oh yeah, I'm not gonna make that all the way around. I've gotten 3. I let myself get distracted, now it's shifted. There we go. So yeah, it was the craziest fucking thing though. Watching that house go around that corner. But we come up and the hydro lines are laying on the ground. And they warned us. We got plenty of notice. Like, this is what's going on. Expect a lot of noise. But they got, you know, they have to get special permission from the city and all this stuff. And then they just trucked this house out and took it. That's where I have to start. Oh, you're not. I tell you guys every time I'm getting up to blow my fucking nose. It's fine. As a matter of fact, this one's going to go here, and then I need 2 more. So I have to cut. That's not enough. I have to cut another piece of this stuff. 2 more pieces. You go over there. What's going on? Where's the edge? Where I had an edge like a minute ago. Where'd it go? There it is. La, la, la. We'll take that one. We'll take that one. I'm just talking to myself at this point because I can. No, we're gonna. Yeah, I've been on Facebook forever. I go through spurts where I'm not doing anything, and then I go on through spurts where I'm on there all the time. There, let's do that. Do that. We'll do that. We'll do that. I am too lazy to stand up today. That's part of the problem. Where's mine? There it is. And that's why it didn't want to cut properly. Okay, now, I'm not going to worry about that one too much. I'm overthinking life. I'm going to go make room for another drink. Oh, I forgot my drink. I don't know why I walked in a full circle, but I did. I walked in a full circle. Oh, that's my exercise for the day. Okay. Okay. So, yeah, over the summertime, that is when I start really trying to focus on lazy ways to get the sewing done because I don't want to iron anything because it gets hot in here. Okay. Come on. I'm getting near the edges now, which I will have to deal with, but till I absolutely am going to. I'm going to come in from that angle. And I got to go all the way back to the edge because I didn't go to the edge. There we go. So I've definitely got a bunch here to fill in. There we go. All the things. Yeah. Okay, why did I take this all the way off? Because I'm not so smart. Okay, here we go. This is getting to the awkward stage as if I were ironing, and I don't need to get rid of that piece yet. If I were ironing and sewing things down properly, maybe it wouldn't matter so much, but now this one's going to completely cut off that section. I'm going to leave that for now. Cut that later. Okay. Okay. I want that one. Where's my pins? Under there, flipped over. We can have heat waves where it hits 100 degrees. The biggest problem that I personally have living here. Oh, there's not much to lag with here. I'm just sewing. The biggest problem that we have here is that for me personally, this is like we can't run the air conditioner in the living room at the same time that I'm running the iron because I'll just blow a fuse. But this little section of the room that I'm sitting in doesn't get a lot of airflow because there's no windows behind me or anything. Like we're in a condo, so we're in an apartment. The windows are only on one side, so we got no airflow. So this little corner gets really hot, really fast. Stays hot. There it is. Stays hot, and then it can be really hard to get it. It can just get really stuffy back in this little corner. It's not the end of my world, but like I said, we have an air conditioner that's hooked in over there, but I can't really run it while I have the iron going. And turning on the iron makes it 10 times worse. It really is just a first world problem, but yeah, it can get really hard in here. The good news here in this area that we're living is that it never really stays that way for long. Like right now, right this minute, it's actually not bad in here at all. It's a little coolish, to be honest, which is great. But if I turn even in the middle of winter, that's why sometimes it's like the middle of winter and I'm sitting here in a tank top because if I've been doing a lot of ironing and whatnot, this corner I've had to have the fan on. Cold as day out, super cold outside, but the fan's on inside because I've been ironing a lot and it's heated everything up. So, but yeah, it can get really hot. We've had like 102, 105 or whatever. I'm not sure how hot it's gotten here. I'm not sure what kind of heat records we've had here, but it very rarely goes above, I guess, 80, 85. Yeah. The funny thing is I love the heat. I really do. I've got a fucked up leg, so keeping that warm, I love the heat, but when it gets that still air thing going, when it gets when it gets stuffy. When it gets hot and stuffy, and then I just can't handle it at all. Then it's like half the time we're turning the air conditioner on not to we would probably do really well with just a dehumidifier in here because most of the time when we're turning it on, it's to just make the air a little less stuffy. Gotta make sure I'm not tucking that in just right. Yeah, that one's pretty much done. Put a pin on that side too. I don't really care. I don't really have to care about the pinning, but I want to make sure that I'm not fucking it up for no good reason. At this stage, everything is wanting to, this is just a little tablet that's left, so it wants to really shift and stuff. And this is the last one. Oh, damn. I mean, that got out of the way, that got out of the way, that got out of the way. We're going to start there. One or two stitches, and then start angling your stuff. Works really well, to be honest. As long as you're making sure that you're not, if you only put one or two stitches in and then change your angle, the fabric will lay just beautifully. It's if you go 9 or 10 stitches in and then try to change your angle, then this area up at this area is going to look really weird. Yeah, once the stuffy can't cool the house down, once that stuffy hot not moving air thing starts, then it's like then I'm like I don't want to iron anything. I want to figure it out. And we have a, well, I don't know what kind of a problem you want to call it. We have wasps. We're overlooking a I don't know if you can see. I don't know if you can see out the window here. We're overlooking a small gully, and we have no idea where they are or where they're coming from. But we have wasps every year. So we have a big double door there that we can't open. Because if we do, we will get it's not an infestation. It's not super horrible, but it also super doesn't stop. So we end up with all these wasps in the house, a slow but steady stream of wasps coming in. So now the one thing I'm going to have to do is get back here and trim all this. But it's not really going to matter. I remember to backstitch on everything. And no matter how much loose thread you have on the back of a piece like this, as long as you trim it, sooner or later, it just, after a few washes, it just kind of starts laying down and it doesn't bother anybody. And I don't know why I'm doing it now. That's a job for when all this is done. Anyway, okay, on that. That was the last one. Let's get it over here for a minute. Ugh. That's done. I'm going to save this though, because I might just go. Okay, and I could take that one off. I don't have to, but I'm gonna. Oops, be careful not to get so close that you cut that. Cutting the batting at this stage is a pain in the ass. I have a wasp nest in my. Oh, that sucks. Thank you. Yeah, my ex was allergic to bees. My ex was allergic to bees. My ex was allergic to bees, and we realized there was a bee's nest, beehive. There we go. So there's where we're at right now. So this is 100% getting squared off, and it's going to square. I'm going to go square to this. So these I'm going to make it a I don't know what size square I'm going to make. Basically, I'm going to fill in this and that and that and these. That should be enough. If I go around one more time with the blue, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to fill it in with big pieces of blue. That should be enough blue, and I already checked and I've got. Wait, I didn't double check against this blue, did I? This will be enough. This should be enough. Okay, I need one biggish piece right here. Little piece, biggish piece. Yeah, I'm just going to finish it I'm going to finish it with the blue. So it's going to have the blue. See, look, you can see the, where is it? You can see the blue right there. I know the camera's making them look like they're one shade of blue, but they are a matching shade. So no matter how you do it. So now, how big are these? Now there's the, this one. Okay, this piece here is already done because when you flip it over, you can see the selvage, right? Yeah, this looks really good. Yeah, when we have the big doors open there, we have big double doors over there. We can open one side and close and have a door size screen that closes. But if we try to open the whole thing and get some real airflow going, then we get wasps coming in from wherever they're from, because there's obviously a nest somewhere in that little gully there. So then they come in and we just get them in here. It's not, I mean, none of us have been stung, but Bruno, he'll try to eat one. He sees for some reason, he is the great bug hunter. I'm just trying to figure out where I want these. You know what I got to do though, is I've got to double check and make sure I have more of this one in the back, because I know I checked for the purple. I can't remember if I checked for this. I do not have more of that. So I'm going to do two things. Well, I'm going to do one of two things. Ta-da, da-da-da-da. Okay. Now I've got two different rulers. I'm going to check something. And there you. Oh, this is fine. Look at this. Okay. If I fuck this up and end up being unhappy with it, then I have already got, you should be able to tell from your angle. If I fuck this up and I'm unhappy with this, I've already got a big enough one that I can do a 15 by 15 instead of the either eight. I'm either doing an 18 by 18 or a 20 by 20. So that is, well, that's already more than, okay, that's already more than 20 going this way. So look at that. Look at all the extra I've got. I am, okay, where's my center? There's my center. There's my 6. Okay, this is fine. This does not have to be perfect, and it's not going to be perfect because that is just not how I roll. But if you take the time to make it as perfect as possible at this stage, not because you have to, because you don't have to. Yeah, that's the thing. Bruno sees a bug and he tries to eat it. Okay, I can fuck this up pretty badly. Okay. So I am going to, I do not have any more of this. If I do, I'm not seeing it. So this is why I'm stopping and double checking and whatnot. So I'm going to cut and go around the outside because if I fuck it up, I can still turn this into either an 18 by 18 or go all the way down to 15 by 15. Okay. So I'm going to do, yeah, exactly. Done, not perfect. But what I've got going on right now is that, like for this here, I need to do a pretty wide piece. That's going to be a narrow piece. That's going to be, yeah, this would be fine. You just want to, look how dry my hands are. Look at that. Got flaky knuckles. Yeah, all I wanted to do was double check, because even if I don't fill in this entire corner, I'm still going to have 20 by 20. And I've only got to go, like this one here already goes past the selvage. So I don't need to go, that piece there is done. So I just need to do that. So I'm just double checking, because every now and again, these triangle pieces end up taking sometimes an amazing amount of fabric, even though you don't realize that that's what's happening. Like that one's going to be pretty big, but so that'll do it. I need to be a little bit more specific right now. Okay, so I'm just going to go there. Not that. Don't you do it. Okay, that was dumb because I have pins in this thing. I have pins in this. I don't want to, I need to just start measuring. You just measure from approximately where your thing is going to be. So that needs to be 5 inches. Let's get that over there. Set that over there. So then it's out of my way and my foot is going to hold it so it can't. Yeah, Peggy's hands get really dry. Problem is that if I do, okay, my problem is I do use moisturizers sometimes, but I have a much bigger problem with getting, I rub my eyes a lot because of generic allergy shit, right? So I rub my eyes regularly and then have serious regrets because, oh, I've got moisturizer on and now my eyes are burning. So it's like, I just, And I'm so used to having dry skin that it just doesn't phase me anymore. As long as it's not dry beyond a certain point, I don't think I even really notice it anymore. Okay, that one hasn't slipped yet, so we're going to assume that it's not going to. All I'm doing right now is making sure that this, I don't have to go all the way to the, I don't have to go all the way to the end. I just have to make sure it goes up to the end of where the underside piece is. So that's all I'm doing. And then I'm going to go across it. And then I'm going to sew it. And then I'm going to hope that I did it right. This isn't, you know what? This is not even, I have been sitting here for what? Over 2 hours now. This isn't even the thing I want to try. This is not even the big ha-ha thing that I'm trying. How far have I been to the edge? I'm already past the edge. Okay. I don't need to go all the way to the edge on. Yeah, I rub my eyes all the time. I'm a little bit allergic to Bruno in that, oh my God, this is not fun kind of way. So it's like, okay, I'm just going to push that out and put the pin back in. Okay, that one's done. Okay, so now I got to measure. I don't think I'm going, you know what? Here's the thing. I've got the time for it. I have got the time for it. So I am going to put a piece. There's an edge there that needs to be covered. So and it only needs to be an inch. So I'm just going to make a piece that's about 1.5 inches. And I'm going to add it. My worst case scenario, this isn't even on the edge. My worst case scenario, that's off the edge. Yeah, this is all off the edge. I don't even have to start that till like there, but I'm going to go, it's long enough that I'm going to go past. I'm not going to do anything fancy. I'm just going to go straight through. Hold that in place for a second. Make sure my fabric doesn't shift. This is the part where you feel like you're fucking it up because you're supposed to go from end to end. Oh my God, I don't wear makeup. You know what I did? Okay, not I did. There's nothing special here. I did the thing when I was a teenager. Oh, everybody's wearing makeup. Oh, cool. I guess I'll wear some makeup, because everybody else is wearing makeup. I'm going to wear some. I was allergic to all of it. And hypoallergenic really wasn't a thing back then. Hypoallergenic was just as bad as the regular makeup. It really was. It's like, oh, this is hypoallergenic. It's like, it only contains half of the usual shit that makes you break out. So I couldn't wear it. I could not wear makeup. So I didn't. And then by the time they actually had actual hypoallergenic makeup, I was just like, yeah, I don't wear makeup anymore. It's like this now. Then, because of course, it's like, oh, well, you can wear makeup now because it's actually hypoallergenic now. And it's like, yeah, but I don't want to anymore. It's like, I'm so used to not bothering that I just don't. So yeah, I never got into makeup. I don't know. I don't know that I mean, it's a catch-22 for me. Like, I mean, I know I'm not the girly one. I'm definitely the butch one in the room, blah, 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 blah. But it was never I'm going to be butch. I never did that. I never did the whole, I want to dress in, I dress mostly in men's clothes because it's the only shit that fits. Okay, that doesn't go to the end. I can stop there. That one's done. I didn't avoid makeup. No, I'm a butch. Butches don't wear makeup. I didn't do that. I couldn't wear makeup. So it's like, well, it's not like I can. So why am I even thinking about this shit? So I didn't. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4.5. So 5 again. So yeah, so it's like, it's kind of, there's like, it's like a, yeah. Panda eyes do the rubbing. I don't know what I would have had going on, but yeah, I never got into makeup because I was allergic to all of it. I've got super sensitive skin, which probably explains why I have such an extremely sensitive sense of touch. But so yeah, so I never got into makeup. I never got into makeup because I was allergic to most of it. By the time they actually had makeup that was hypoallergenic, I was like, it was expensive. Makeup was fucking expensive. Makeup was expensive. I was an adult by then. I was poor by then. So it's like, yeah, no, you can keep it. I don't, it's like, I'm not spending my money on that shit. So yeah, I never got into makeup. Makeup wasn't, I don't know, lots of girls were into makeup, but back where I came from, a lot of girls weren't. So it didn't really matter. Nobody, yeah. And then it's like, oh, I've got this particular shape. For some reason, women with hips have to wear men's clothes if they want them to fit. I was like, well, that sucks. Okay, I guess I'm wearing men's clothes most of the time now. Okay. And then by the time they started making women's clothes that had a better fit, it's like, nah, I'm used to this. Leave me the fuck alone. So then I did that. And then I had long hair down to my waist. So that was fine. Okay, I got long hair to my face. That's pretty feminine. Whatever. That's all fine and dandy. That's all good. Then I had my son. I had John. I was married to a man at the time. No problem there. I had my son. My son, by the time he was 3 months old, could wrap my waist long hair in his fist and start to, he had a fascination with hair. Till the day I had to pull a hair out of his mouth. Got my hair cut down to here, right? Okay. Not bad at all. And then I decided to outdo myself by getting ear infections as an adult. Oh yeah, I wear men's shoes most of the time. So basically, my child, I had to cut my hair shorter because of my child, and then I decided it would be fun to get ear infections as an adult. Now there is a special fucking joy. So I get ear infections as an adult, and if you've ever had an ear infection, if you ever seen a kid's got an ear infection and they are just screaming, well, I can tell you why, because ear infections are fucking painful. So basically, everything is, I have got ear infection. I had ear infections in both ears, and I was functionally deaf at one point in time. Like, to the point where the doctor was like, if we don't get this sorted out, you're not getting that back. So that was a scary time. But the sensitivity that it left behind left me so sensitive that I went and got a buzz cut, because every time I started even sweat a little bit into my ear, it was painful and I didn't like it. And it was really fucking scary. So there's where the crew cut comes from. And of course, now it's like, well, it suits you now. And it's like, yeah, I can see why. It does. It suits me. So I just like, yeah, I'm just going to keep it. Okay, what do we got here? We've only got like 2.5 inches here and nothing there. I'm done. 2.5 inches. So I'll just do 3.5 because I've got plenty left. I've got plenty. Do I need to go 3? Whatever. I got plenty. This is the thing when you're working with scrap, most of the time you don't have this much scrap. I'm actually very, very fortunate with this shit because I've always got a pile of some kind of scrap sitting around. Like all of this, now the center, yeah, not fun. I had an ear infection. I had double ear infections and it lasted for 6 months. I still have fucked up hearing because of it. It's kind of hard to describe. I hear normally. I do. I hear normally. But you ever like if you're in a room with a lot of weird noise, it can kind of like drown out other noises and you're going wah wah wah. Well, it happens to me less noise. It happens to me in certain bandwidths. And it's easier to happen to me where it's just everything just kind of blurs into a jumble sometimes. We've all had it happen to us. We have all had it happen to us. I'm just way more susceptible to it. And sometimes it's really obvious when it's like certain things like, oh, I'm not going to be able to hear like all that murmuring and mumbling in a restaurant. It's a bitch for me to try and hear through that. So I get a bit of that going on, but it's not the end of my world. It's just inconvenient. So that's its own thing. I'm just going to use a pin. Now we're gonna do the test. We're gonna do that ruler test. Now this should be, yeah, there's the edge there. There's the edge there. You are not centered. There we go. Right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2.5. That's about right. Okay. And it's perfect. And it's perfect. Oh, well, thank you. Artemisia says, it does suit you. I love your whole look. You're so comfortable in your skin and in yourself, and that makes sense, and I love that. Oh, tinnitus. I've had bouts of tinnitus, but oh, I have one. I have one section here that needs a small piece, or it's not gonna, it can be off by like a quarter inch. That one corner over there is off by the tiniest little bit, and that's not gonna matter. I can just wheel this way a bit and fudge it a bit, and that won't hurt anything. But I gotta cover. I'm just barely inside the camera. Thing is, I kind of figured out long ago that I don't need to give a shit about the only person that has to live with me is me. And I have known people in my life who couldn't function without outside. I don't know. I can't say couldn't function. I don't know if that's fair or not, but I've watched people make some incredibly bad decisions because they weren't comfortable in their own skin. And it's like, no, I can't do that to myself. I can't do it. But like, I don't know, you just kind of have to, yeah, you kind of, it's one of those things. I mean, I think we all eventually get there where we're just like, yeah, fuck it. I don't care. Just fuck it. It's like, okay. I am just going to slap this one right on there and not give a shit because it's coming off here and here. And I'm going to be trimming this whole thing up. Whoop, you get out of my way. I'm going to trim the whole thing up. Getting older definitely helps. I mean, I don't know. The funny thing is that, you know, it's like everybody's got their own history, and then people are like, oh, it must have really sucked you had a mom who didn't give a shit about you, blah, 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 right? But the thing is that every disadvantage comes with advantages. Like, I mean, I learned a lot about myself and shit from a much younger age than most people. The learning process can be painful, and I learned that I don't know, painful is the right way to describe it, but you learn, right? You learn, you grow, you learn. So I did a lot of that growing, whether I wanted to or not, at a much younger age than most people. So I got lucky that way. And I really do think of it as a way of, I really do think of it as a type of luck. Because then, you know, it changes the way you do everything. Yeah, I stopped caring quite young. Same. It's like, I don't know, it's hard to describe. Like, I mean, you definitely care, but you care differently. You know, it's different. It's very, very different. Okay, I have to wander over to the other table. This table is definitely not big enough for me to lay this out. So I am going to be, let me see, can we get that other table up there? Not likely unless you look. Yeah, you're not going to see fuck all. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like we all have bigger things. We all have bigger things going on than whether or not our makeup is just right or what the neighbor thinks of us. Like, because I don't give a shit what the neighbor thinks of me. As you know, it's like I know what the rules are. As long as I'm following the rules, I don't need to give a shit what the neighbor actually thinks of me. As long as everything's trucking along nicely, you know. It's like, and it's not about being superficial. It's like, it's about like, I know my own worth, and I don't need to wear it like I don't need to carry it around like a flag, and I don't need to hide it like it doesn't matter. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go trim. I'm just gonna go and drop this. I'm dropping this on the table. I'm dropping this on top of it, and ideally, I'm gonna come back with a 20-inch by 20-inch finished square. Oh, that's not going there. Let's get this laid out. Okay. So much junk in the way. Oh, don't need to do that. I gotta take all these pins out now that I just put in. Hi, puppy. You have to wait. That goes there. Oh, I have one more to put on. No, I don't. That's not the right one. That goes there. There we go. Sorry, I'm just yelling at myself now. Perfect. Ooh, this is sharper than I thought it was. And then la la la. Oh shoot. Yes, that does go there. Okay. Ah. Okay. And there it is. Let's see if I can get at a good angle here. This is not even the shit that I was trying to work on today. So there it is. It is complete. Now, the thing I am going to, no, wait a second. Kind of makes me chuckle when I see folks describing their tower experience. It's complete valid different stuff is, but I'm like, that's exactly, you know what I have had. Now, what I'm going to do is I don't want any of this. The edges are not pinned down. I don't want any of this to move, especially like this corner here. The whole thing is just like this, right? I don't want any of it to move. I don't have to do anything crazy with it, but I'm going to run a stitch right at the very edge because if I'm doing it wrong, I don't fucking care. But if I'm doing this right, I'm going to be flipping this over and sewing into it from the back. Let's see in a second. What time is it now? Why am I not finding there? Oh, it's exactly 4:30. All right. No, that's the thing. Like, I mean, I see people melting down over shit that doesn't matter. And it's like, and I get it. We've all melted down over something stupid, right? We've all said, oh, this is kind of dumb, but when I'm melting down over something stupid, at least I'm willing to admit that it's something stupid. And I guess maybe stupid is the wrong thing, but like, oh, my fries are cold. Ah, fuck, that sucks. Blah, 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 blah. It's like, yeah, whatever. But it is just fries. I'm just letting off steam, and I'm not going to go marching in and demand that the kid who cooked them get fired, right? Now, if I've done what I want to do, then this seam isn't going to matter. But I did a long enough seam. I did a long enough stitch that if I decide that I've fucked up, I can take it out fairly easily. Okay, get that one on the corner. Like I said, this is just don't suck it in the center. There we go. This is just to hold this last little bit in place so that nothing shifts Mind you, I have like I have temporary basting. I have all kinds of stuff I can do about that do with this. It's just that this is just already handy, so I'm just gonna not worry too much about did that shift or was that display. Oh, there we go. Like this is already held down here and here. I just don't want it to shift that way. I don't want it to shift in any direction. So that's why I'm sewing it down. That one shifted a bit. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Come on. Oh, you shifted right out of there, you bugger. Did the whole thing move out? Oh, the whole thing came out. Okay, we're going to go back one. Do it again. It shifted, so it shifted a little bit, so it was only catching the top part of the fabric and not it wasn't catching the bottom at all. Basically, I'm going to be doing I'm doing a 1/4 inch. I'm going to be working with a 1/4 or maybe even a 1/2 inch. And this stuff, this is going to get completely covered. Yeah, exactly. I don't need to be salty about it. I don't need to be salty about it. If I am going to be salty about it, I need to be aware of how and why. I don't know. I think that's a stage. I think that we all kind of reach that stage. Thank God the super crazy angry people are the minority. Because I get it when you're a kid and you don't know any better, but watching grown ass adults acting like that is just like, okay, can't respect that. There we go. Okay, that's done. So like this is like, oh, you can't really see it, but it is super close to the edge, super close. Yeah, you can see a little bit there. It's super close to the edge because now what I'm doing, I've got the back. That's the back, which is got a nice little octagon pattern started in it. So that'll be fun. I think this one just because I can. I'm not doing, this is just going to be this is just going to fold over a little bit. It's going to be very thin. So I think we all have our meltdown moments. My God, that is so beyond normal. Now I need 4 2.5 inch pieces, but I need one of them. I need to go that way. They don't need to be perfect because they are going to get trimmed later. They're okay. They are going to get trimmed later, but I'm doing this right now because I need to figure out what I think of this. I'm doing them at 2.5 inches, but they're probably going to finish at about 1 inch, but you'll see it. Okay, 1. That'll do 2 sides. That'll do 2 sides. Okay, that's going to come off. It's not wide enough. That can go over there. And I'm going to iron them. Come here, you. I'm going to take my pins and get them out of the way. I don't need my pins no more. I need to pick them up. Okay. Yeah, you can ask right now because if I have the answer, I'll answer it, and if I don't have the answer, then I'll know what information I need to get for you. Two. That opens up. Wait a second. I gotta make sure it's gonna be big enough. Oh yes. Okay. This one has to be big enough because the last piece is gonna go across everything. Oh, but I'm gonna take the last piece from there. Then I know I have enough. Okay, so this is bigger than what I need so that I have plenty of space to go along. I keep expecting a major drama, but I've changed these blades not too long ago. Yeah, drop the question. There's no reason for me. I might as well leave the camera on until I'm done this, because this is the entire purpose of this is to do what I'm about to do. I just needed a block to do it with. Oh, don't tell me you didn't come up. Yeah, this has got lots of safety stuff in it, so it doesn't always do what I want it to do. There we go. I just needed that seam. These center seams on this can be really, really, really heavy in there, and it can actually create a bit of a pain in the ass when you're trying to work on them later. I don't care if there's a seam mark. I don't know if you can see it. There's a bit of a seam mark in there, but yeah, the camera's not gonna pick it up. There's a bit of a mark where the seam was, and that's fine. It'll wash out. After a couple of washings, it'll disappear. But okay, so what I'm doing, I need a small reading cloth for a particular chair table. It's a strange shape, and just wondered if you have more of that fabric that Lisa's original spread cloth is made of. The blue was suns and moons. Failing that, the unicorn fabric that you used recently on some bags in your shop. The unicorn fabric that I used recently only comes in 10-inch by 10-inch pieces. If it's this stuff, are you talking about that fabric? That one. This fabric was was very, very specific, and only came in this size pieces. I literally had to cut these out. I literally had to cut these all out to get them to the size that I wanted. So this entire set only goes 10 by 10. It only goes 10 by 10 because it's like 10 by 12 or something like that. So it's very, very limited in what I can do with it. Lisa's OG fabric. Oh, the suns and stars. The blue is suns and moons. If it's the one I'm thinking of, I don't have any more of that, because that's from a much older collection, and it's a cloth I made her years ago. Unfortunately, the way fabric works like a lot of other products, so basically I'm going to add this from the back. It had quotes, among the unicorns, they are silhouettes. Yep. That is part of this collection. And it came in, basically you have a full yard of fabric, and then inside that yard, it's split up into 12 pieces. And that's all it came in with those sizes. And so that's already gone. That one's already gone. Okay, so this one's going to be really easy. So I did the really, really, really narrow. So now I'm just going to go and do a much wider seam. Oh, I need that to be more of a proper one. What I want to be able to do, yes, that's going to work. Okay. What I do with my fabric is I leave a wide space around the outsides, and I use that wide space to sew the two pieces of fabric together, and then I fold down the excess to the front and make a frame for it. And one of the things that has been mentioned, one of the things that Lisa and I have both mentioned more than once, is wanting to color coordinate the fronts without worrying about the backs. And it occurred to me that the back, we don't care if the back is perfectly matching colors all the time. It's the front that we're concerned about. Oh, I should leave the iron on. La, 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 la. Now watch, I grab the one that I didn't, so these just need to be straight lines. These are really easy, just line it up. Cut it off. Flip it over. Yeah, I've got a couple of other uniform fabrics, but that's fine. So basically I sewed that to that because when this is done, this is going to be sewn to another piece of fabric here. And then this is going to be pulled up like that and become the frame that's going to go around this whole thing. So let's take the next. I need the longest one. Which one's the longest one? That one should be the longest one. Or that one. I had 4. I know I cut 4. Didn't I cut 4 of these? I did not cut 4 of these. That's okay. That's okay. Wait, that's the one. Yeah, I need that one. Okay. I'm just talking to myself. It's fine. So I'm going in from the back. So this is going to be a very narrow. Once this is sewn onto that, once this is done the way I want it to be done, it's only going to be like that's all that's going to be left on this side. And it looks like it's going to blend fairly well with this piece. So that goes like that. That goes like that. Keep that above there. And then just sew. Now what I normally do is I normally trim these. I normally trim these to about 1 inch and then do the thing, but I think I'm going to leave these longer. I don't care if I have heavier, thicker frames around these things. And I've left everything else fairly wide as well so that I don't have to agonize over it. So what I'm going to do, okay, this is 20 by 20, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to make 4 40 by 40 panels. So this is going to connect in with whatever else it takes to make it 40 by 40. I'm going to make 4 40 by 40 chunks, and then I'm going to connect them all together. Just to make it fun. So doing this, yeah, I got to cut one more. Where did it? I thought I already cut it. One, 2. Did I knock it to the floor? I must have thought this was going to be long enough because it's not. Anyway. Yeah, this is going to work out exactly. This is going to work out exactly the way I want it to, which is all that matters. So this becomes the section. Okay, where did I? Well, that can come over. That can come back over here because I got to cut another piece out. Oh, did I get distracted and not do it? Probably. We know me. We know me. Oh yeah, you know what? You know what I need to do is I need to get back. I've got to go into my bedroom and get into my closet and sort out all my fabric, all of it. So there's going to be at least one live that I will be doing in the not too distant future where I'm going to be cleaning up this mess and seeing what's what. No, I did not already cut it. That's one thing I like about this machine. My other machine, if I forget to cut the thread, you have to have a piece of fabric on there. It just doesn't want to play nice. So yeah, I don't know if you can see this or not, but see all this where I sewed this stuff, right? It's now covered up, and it's covered up from the back, and it's going to be covered up from the front, so it won't be visible. I love fabric. I love fabric. I can't wait. We're still sorting. Okay, we're still sorting out what this we're still sorting out what the shop is going to look like when this is over. I'm 60 now. If Lisa had her way, I would just like stop. It's like you need to retire. But yeah, I could make a hobby out of I could make a hobby out of just collecting fabric, which is really bad. I've got so much now. It's crazy. Because especially during COVID, I've got some basic fabrics that I bought so much of that I should have never bought it. I can't say should have never bought it. The idea of my shoulder deciding to hate me and postal issues and tariffs and all that shit getting in the way. And of course, at the time when I was buying most of it, I had Rose working for me. So that, and you don't think, okay, you never go, oh, I should plan my future with this in mind. And it's like, because if you do that, you're just never going to get anything done. I don't know why I'm doing this now. I got to do it later. I got to get these sewn on. No, I don't take anything as pressure. You know that. Okay, that does not fit. That's why I needed to cut the extra one. That is long enough. That's long enough. Okay. I needed to make sure the last piece that you add has to go this seam and this seam. So the last piece always has to be, these are 2.5 inch strips. So the last piece has to be 2.5 inches longer than the other side pieces. I never measure this stuff properly though. I really don't, because I use up so much of my scrap doing this that if you were to come wandering along and not realize that I have an Etsy shop, I have a lot of scrap, I have this and I have that, you would think I was so wasteful with fabric. But I generate so much scrap. I do. I generate so much of it. That's what I should do. Is I need to. Oh, I can't even give away my scrap right now because I've got so many issues with the post office right now that I can't risk it. I mean, I suppose I could for that sort of stuff, but well, then again, I can't. If I put something in an envelope and it ends up sitting at the post office for 3 or 4 months, it's going to show up with a big pile of mold on it. It won't be any good. Well, you're quite welcome. And like I said, no pressure. Don't worry about it. With the postal strike, with everything else that we've got going on, there we go. Now back up. There we go. But no, like I mean, I'm in the very very fortunate position that I've never had to do this. We've never had to rely on the income from this. Now, don't get me wrong. The income has been nice, but it's never, I'm not going to go hungry if you don't buy this, right? That's never been the case. So no worries. Okay, on this last one. Okay. Now I'm not going to seal this down or anything because it's going to go and connect. I was hoping I'd have time. Of course, that did it funny. I was hoping I was going to have time. Ah, yes. Well, do you sew at all? Like, because I will tell you right now, there's also the number one friend of a person who does not sew is pinking shears. Because a lot of okay, like you have to sew your two pieces together, but then you also have to worry about your seams and fraying and all that stuff. Okay. I'm gonna get nice and straight. Let me just do that a little bit. And back up. Yeah, because I went too far forward. Yes, back up. There we go. Okay, so now what's going to go on? What's going to happen here? I'm going to give this a quick zap with the iron. What's going to happen here? Just get this trimmed out. I don't need to trim it perfectly. I really don't. I don't need to trim it perfectly just yet. One of the reasons why I'm making this bigger than I need it is so I can put it away until I need it. There we go. So basically I'll give this I don't think I'm gonna iron this actually. I think I'm gonna leave it because the less I handle it, the better off it's gonna be. I did turn that up. So here's what happens. Come on. Come on. Oh, that's my super thick batting I just tried to drop. So what goes on here? See, look at that one. That was just simple black on black. So what happens, these are not the same size. These are not the same size because then what I'll be doing is I'll put a little tiny piece of something here. I'm gonna put it together like a puzzle. That's the whole purpose of this. See, I've got fraying starting already. That's why this is bigger than what I need. But when I'm ready, what I'll do, when I am ready, I will trim both of these to the size that I want. Then I will take this edge here. I'll take that edge there. I'll line them up as carefully as I can. And then I'm going to sew these pieces together this way. So I'll sew them together back to back. And then once they're sewn, let me put that away so I don't end up slicing. I know last thing I want is to slice it back. So then I'll sew these together back to back, right? And this is a thing that I do all the time. I do this all the time. This is one of my favorite techniques. So what I'm trying to do is I sew these together back to back. And then when I'm ready, they're facing the wrong way. Okay, one's upside right and one's upside down, right? So when they're done, they will be correctly done. When they're done, this will be sewn to this. That will be all connected, right? This is what I'm doing. So this will be all connected. These will be sewn together from the inside. I'm sure I've showed you this before, right? So this will be all connected together from the inside, and then this will be narrower. This is only going to be about 1.5 inches. I'm leaving it this way right now because then it can fray all it wants. It can fray like crazy, and this can fray itself like crazy. And when I cut it here and trim it, I'm still going to have a clean line, so that way I can lay them out, piece them, decide how I want things, do whatever, right? So then this will be sewn to this, and it's easy enough to do. And then this will be folded in and folded over, and I'll sew that one down, right? And then this will be folded in and folded over. I'll sew that one down. You guys, you see me do this making handbags, and then that's what that's going to look like. That's how these two are going to connect together. If these two end up being connected together, so far I think I don't have a lot. I haven't been doing. I had a bit of I'm calling it a temper tantrum, but it really wasn't. So that's the one I did today. That's the one that I did. That's the one that I did previous. Where's the other two? I've only got 4 right now. I've only got 4 at the moment. No, I have more than 4. I've got 4 big ones. Then I've got just a plain. That's going to be in the middle somewhere, right? Or it might be on a different block. And then, I don't think you were here that day. And I've got that one. So I've got 3 crows. I've got one really bright one. So what's going to happen is, like, if I decide that I'm going to go this one, then this one, then this one, and see the size differences, right? Then here's the really, whoops, I just clicked some what there? There's my wife. There is the wife. Should I answer? I'm going to answer her. Hi, I'm live streaming. Yeah, I am. just finished the thing that I wanted to work on. So I'm just, yes, I'm streaming. Yeah. I'm not sure if anybody can hear you or not. I'm not Can you hear her? What am I doing? Oh, she can't hear. Just a second. Just a second. Just a second. Absolutely. Wait, wait, wait.
Uh,
Well, come on, come on, come on, come on.
Aw.
Now, can you hear now?
Can you hear me now? Am I on the internet?
You should be.
I should. All right, you added me in StreamYard? That's amazing.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I added you against your will to StreamYard.
I mean, it's not like I'm not used to being on the internet. Did I what?
Are you seeing two cameras or one? Yeah, she can hear you. Artie can hear
Oh,
you.
sweet. I've been working on production things all day, and my eyeballs are square now.
So I'm taking you somewhere for dinner.
Well, yeah, or we're taking the dogs for a walk or something, but like if I don't get away from the computer screen, I might lose my mind a little bit.
When are you going to be home?
5 minutes?
Okay, so I can meet you downstairs?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, I have to go, Artie. I'm being summoned.
Yeah, with or without the doggy is your call. If we're walking them, bring them, obviously. But if we're just going to dinner, that's also fine.
Walking them, just throw them out in the street.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, leave them inside where they're nice and cozy. Goodness. Throw them in the street.
I'm gonna say goodbye. I'm already saying goodbye, but I'll be down in a couple
Kicking
minutes.
her off. Yeah, get off of it. I said, apparently I'm kicking you off.
Yeah, Artie needs to go to bed anyway.
Okay. All right. Good night, Artie.
I'll see you in a minute.
Bye.
Now I gotta figure out how to turn this thing off. Oh, there we go. I did that part right. I did that part right. Did I do that part right? Anyway, basically, so this is how I did this, right? And it's gonna do the same thing. Cool thing about this though, and the cool thing about all of this, like if I'm gonna connect this to this, then I'm gonna need like a 8-inch piece, right? But I only have to measure exactly what I need because the center and the sides are two different things. As long as the center is the way you do quilt as you go, as long as this piece is the right size, it will fit no matter what. So I'm going to be, I think what I'm going to do is do one more crow. I think I'm gonna do one more crow. I've got more of this crow fabric. I think I'm gonna do one more large crow, and that's gonna be the center of each 40 by 40 piece. Because this is 20 by 20, but I need like 20 more inches. This doesn't have to be in the center, so I can have it be off center. This one can be the outer edge, and the next one it can be the other one it can be the one can be centered, one can be whatever, but each one is going to do that thing. Like look how big this is, right? This, as long as I have at least an inch to sew to the next piece and then fold over from the front, make a frame, I'm good to go. So that is the summer quilt project. And if I do 4 40 by 40 inch pieces, then I will have one 80 by 80, very large. Yeah, these are cool. The crows are really cool, and I have more of them. I don't have them here. Do I have the other one? I have one more. I have one more that's just been sitting here. Yeah, I threw it away somewhere. I probably put it over on the chair. But yeah, so I can do that, and that can be the dark. That they can be dark. You know, look at that one. That one's awesome, right? And when it's done, it's just going to be this edge is going to be completely covered, just like a regular quilt. The edge is going to get covered. So yeah, this is going to be. I just need to get off my ass. My shoulder. I've been having shoulder problems for the last little while. I don't know what I did to myself. So that's finally clearing up. So now I'm good. Now I've got more energy for the bigger projects. And then I've got this. I'll just show you this right quick before I run away. That is also going to be. That's also going to be a quilting project that I'm going to be working on. So I'm just going to make a big piece and then do that. I haven't decided. I still have to decide. Am I going to do a quilt as you go panel? Am I going to do a quilt as you go like this style, or am I going to make the entire top and then put it all together? I haven't decided yet. I got to decide how much work I want to do. But anyway, I got to go because she's going to be pulling in any second now. But yeah, I got to go. So I'm going to go. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I will see you soon. And for everybody else who is just chilling in the background, thanks for hanging out with me. I will see you all soon. Bye. Oh, I don't want to play that. There we go. Had an outro.